لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة
Blessings from above descend ceaselessly on Medina. People feel the joy, people feel the love in the city of Rasulullah. A perfect path he laid for everyone. He lived and died for us, what have I done? I have forsaken his life, I have abandoned his way. Oh Allah, now my time has come. Deep in my heart I feel a change has begun. Deep in my soul I feel the warmth of the sun, burning bright with Iman on the road to Ihsan. All my obstacles I will overcome. Peace be upon Rasulullah. Peace be upon Habibullah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Peace be upon Shafi'ullah. Peace be upon Khair Khalqillah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Last Nabi. With Ahl Sunnah we disgraced. People rushing in order to embrace the rahmah that Allah sends down to this place, to the city of Medina. Every language and color you can see, there is unrivaled hospitality, and dates that's as sweet as the smile of a child. Oh, I feel so unworthy. Peace be upon Rasulullah. Peace be upon Habibullah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Peace be upon Shafi'ullah. Peace be upon Khair Khalqillah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Last Nabi. Oh, how my mind races back in time to the day in Medina he arrived, and the people came running happily outside to welcome the messenger. For his call was to worship the one, their hearts united with the beating of the drum, and the children were singing praises to him. I wish I could have been there with them. Peace be upon Rasulullah. Peace be upon Habibullah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Peace be upon Shafi'ullah. Peace be upon Khair Khalqillah. Peace be upon Muhammad. Last Nabi.
الحمد
اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔
اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔ اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔
پہلے امام علی ہے، لقب جن کا مرتضیٰ،
پہلے امام علی ہے، لقب جن کا مرتضیٰ،
اور دوسرے حسن ہے، لقب جن کا مجتبیٰ،
اور دوسرے حسن ہے، لقب جن کا مجتبیٰ،
اور تیسرے حسین شہنشاہ کربلا، ماں فاطمہ ہے جن کی، لقب جن کا سیدہ۔
اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔ اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔
چوتھے امام علی ہے، لقب زین العابدین، کہتے ہیں جن کو سید سجاد مومنین، اور ایک لقب ہے عابد بیمار و دل حزین، سجدوں سے جن کے ابھی منور ہے یہ زمین۔
اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔ اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔
پانچویں امام محمد ہے جن کا نام، باقر لقب سے جانتے ہیں ان کو خاص و عام، ہے علم میرے پانچویں آقا کا بھی غلام، ان کو سلام کرتے ہیں جبریل صبح و شام۔
اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔ اللہ ایک ہے، پنجتن پانچ ہیں، امام 12 ہیں، معصوم 14 ہیں۔ آپ پر درود اور سلام، یہی صدا ہے صبح و شام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام۔ آ رہے ہیں آپ، چل رہی ہے یہ خبر، خانہ نظر، سج رہے ہیں راستے تمام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام، آپ پر درود اور سلام، اے میرے امام، اے میرے امام۔ ہر نفس تجھے میرا سلام عرض ہے، ولی پہ فرض ہے، لیجے انتقام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام آپ پر درود اور سلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام ذکر خیر آپ کا وظیفہ ہے میرا منقبت نہیں ہے یہ عریضہ ہے میرا پڑھ رہا ہوں روز صبح و شام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام آپ پر درود اور سلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام مولا جلد آئیے اب بھی جائیے لے کے ذوالفقار پہ نیام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام آپ پر درود اور سلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام مانگتے ہیں اور یوں ظہور کی دعا دیکھنا ہے ہم کو انتقام کربلا چاہے پھر ہو زندگی تمام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام آپ پر درود اور سلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام چومتے ہیں پاؤں کے تارے آپ کے چل رہا ہے دیکھ کے اشارے آپ کے ساری کائنات کا نظام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام آپ پر درود اور سلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام بس سب ہنسی حسن کے نام ہو گئے تخت و تاج میر کے غلام ہو گئے جب سے وہ ہوا تیرا غلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام آپ پر درود اور سلام اے میرے امام اے میرے امام
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم كن لوليك حجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا يا مدبر مدبر الأمور يا باعث من في القبور يا مجري البحور يا ملين الحديد لداود صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بنا ما أنت أهله في الدين والدنيا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين.
Okay, thank you. If you can please be seated. Was that helpful for visual? Yes? Okay. Let's just say it aloud, salawat, please. So, okay, inshallah, the next part is a little bit easier. We'll talk about packing, logistics, a little bit more informal as well. And inshallah, I will forward these slides in the next day or two, so you'll have it in PDF. And what allows us to do that is we can skip a couple of points. We will not speak to each and every line item on the slide, okay? Inshallah. Okay, so packing lists, something which is on top of most of your minds. So the email has gone out with the packing list. If you are traveling with this group, if you are traveling with another group, I'm sure similar list would have been emailed to you. If not, you can use this as well. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has developed, it's coming along. There are so many things which are not available in the previous years. They are now available now. So please use your judgment when you are packing your suitcases, okay? Many things can be shared between spouses, friends, brothers, sisters. So use your judgment, okay? Pack wisely, because I'm sure, as Sheikh Jafar said, I'm sure you will shop a little bit. So you need that room in your suitcase on your way back, okay? One of the questions most frequently comes is about the phone. So ideally, you can take your iPhone. If it's unlocked, it would be helpful. You can put another SIM card there, and you can use that phone. Or if you would like to keep that locked phone locked, it may be from work, etc., then you can buy a local phone there for around $30 US, and then you can buy a SIM card and you can call into Canada, America, anywhere else around the world. Okay, so alhamdulillah, the internet and the cell phone services are getting better every year we go. Okay, Wi-Fi generally is available in the hotel lobby only, and over the last couple of years, it has been getting better in terms of the strength of the Wi-Fi, and some of us use WhatsApp. So alhamdulillah, you will be able to connect with your families from those holy lands. Okay. Another important thing is going to the haram. So it's very important that you have a bag which you use for going to the haram, either in Medina or in Makkah, and this bag can also be used when you travel to Arafat, Muzdalifah, Mina, etc. Okay, so you should have in your bag a tablet, which we'll talk a little bit more about, iPhone or your dua book. You should have a travel musalla, which will be provided by the group. The reason for that is, as Akil mentioned, in Medina, okay, if you are not in the marble area, you are sitting on the carpet similar to this, and you need your travel musalla to do your sajda, right? Because there's an issue in terms of the turba, they may be watching you, etc. So travel musalla is a must, especially if you're going for namaz, etc. Okay? You should also have a spray bottle or a water bottle with you, because if your wudu breaks, then there is a possibility you can do your wudu right there, as opposed to coming out all the way back to the hotel. Especially if you are in Makkah, if your wudu breaks, say during tawaf, we just discussed that question, right? If you have your water bottle ready with you, you can go on the side, come out of the tawaf, go towards the end, do your wudu, come back and join the tawaf quickly. So this way, you are within a reasonable amount of time, so your tawaf can continue, okay? Now, over the past, they have not allowed cameras in the haram. So I know some of our brothers have special, cameras which they want to take those beautiful, good photos. So they will not generally allow the cameras. They do search the bag sometimes, especially in the ladies. However, they cannot control iPhones, right? People take pictures through iPhones these days. But this is just something which you should know, okay? So what will be provided by the group? As mentioned in the packing list, these are some of the items that will be provided by the group. So we have a stone bag, right? When we go to Muzdalifah, we have to pick up those pebbles. So they will give you a bag where you can put your pebbles. I will give you a wristband. That's for an emergency. So somewhere, something happens, you are lost. There will be a local, number of Sheikh Mustafa Jafar. He speaks fluent Arabic. So wherever you are, just ask somebody to make the phone call, and inshallah we'll try to help you to get you out of that emergency, okay? We will give you a pouch with your name tag. You have to wear that pouch all the time just for safety, okay? Ladies will be given scarf ribbons. You saw that in the presentation, they are wearing the pink ribbon here. Again, so it's easy to spot the ladies who are wearing all white. They are in hijab, so we can spot them from far that these are ladies from our group if we need to help them out, etc. Okay, salat items we mentioned. A small bag to be taken to the haram. So we'll give you a small bag where you put your shoes in and you take it with you in the haram in Medina and in Makkah. Those shoe bags stay right where you are. There are small cubicles in Medina. You can put them on the side. But those shoe bags, yes, go into the haram, and then inshallah you can walk out of any exits you want in the haram. Okay. We'll also give you niyat cards, which will be helpful for you in making niyats at each and every stages as you go through the Hajj. And also the last item is the most important item for this year. So historically we have been giving out two thick books, Hajj book number 1 and Hajj book number 2. Okay. However, we are moving along into the technology, and this year we'll be providing a tablet. Okay. It's very important. We have received feedback that Hajj books, people leave them. We have seen them either in the hotel rooms when they are leaving the holy places. We have seen them lying in Muzdalifah, in Arafat, in Mina. People use them and then they leave them. But they are all Quranic ayats there, they are du'as, etc. So we decided that we move away from printing those books into the technology. Okay, so that's clear with all of you, especially for the Hujjaj traveling with this group from Canada, from the US with Shakil Bairji, and from the UK with the group led by Sheikh Mustafa Jafar. Okay, of course, if you are traveling in another group, they may have similar arrangements, either books or something in terms of tablets, so you can read your du'as. And most of you also have iPhones. You may have downloaded some of the apps which may be helpful to you. The important thing here is that if you are not a techie person, let's say you don't like reading through the tablets, you really love the books, okay, then what we would suggest you do is if you go to the hajj.org website, okay, and we will send these slides to you so you have the reference, okay, there's Hajj book 1 and 2, it's a PDF file, you can email to your printer, have it printed in whatever format, how long and the text, how big do you want the fonts to be, and then you have something printed for you. And within that Hajj book 1 and 2, there's so much material. There's also, for example, Dua Komel, there's Yasin. You may decide you want only some du'as and some ziyarats of the Baqi, for example, or some ziyarat for Janatul Mualla. You decide what you want to have it printed. So it's done for you as a personalized link. The group will provide the tablet, inshallah. Okay? Is that clear? This is the most important change from previous years, okay? The other suggestion is in the website, of course, there are lectures, videos, and medical information, etc. But if you know somebody who has gone for Hajj in the past, doesn't matter which group, they may have those Hajj books in their shelves at home which are not being used. So they can borrow you those books, so you don't even have to go for printing, and then you can return it back to them and pray for them while you are there that these books were given to me by this so-and-so person, and you can count them in your prayers. Okay? So far so good? Yes? Okay. So Allah wants you to pack some things which you should know, and so do the volunteers. Okay? So this is a Hajj trip. It's not an Umrah trip. That's number one. It's not an Air Canada vacation trip. Okay? It's not something that you pay for and then you can really count on the service. And if something goes wrong, you can make a big fuss. or you can sue the employer or the organizer and then get the money back. This is a different kind of trip. So I know most of you raised that you have been to Umrah and you may be staying at a 4 or 5-star hotel with 3 meals a day, etc., but buffet style. This is a different trip. Okay, so I just want to create the expectation from right at the beginning. The other thing is we are at the mercy of other organizers, right? We have people who we have contracted with. We are hoping they will come through in terms of the promises they have made, okay? Similarly, we are at the mercy of the local ground police and local logistics of the kingdom. Things can change anytime. So what you we want you to pack with you is patience, tolerance, forbearance, sharing and caring, forgiveness, and being positive. Things will work out. Remember, we are on this trip for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will make things happen for us, inshallah, okay? All right, so this group, alhamdulillah, just to give you a snapshot of the people traveling within this group, okay, from Canada, we will have between 95 to 100 Hujjaj. Our group joining from the US under Shakil Bhai Virji has approximately 80 people, 80 Hujjaj, and the remaining part of our group will be joined from the UK, around 40, okay? So we are around 200 to 220 people, inshallah, if all of us get our visa. So we have a big group, but we are all one group. We are just traveling from different cities and different parts of the world. And similarly, if you are going with another group from Dar es Salaam, the UK, it doesn't matter. We are all in it to do Hajj, and we normally look out for each other and help. Of course, we go in smaller groups, so we are logistically organized, okay? So as mentioned, Akil Bhai mentions, everybody will be traveling. It's important for you to be at the airport 3 to 4 hours. Remember, it's Hajj time, especially those flights from Middle East. If you're taking those kind of airlines, there will be a lot of people, right? So make sure you are there on time. Remember to rest on the plane. Okay, utilize your time effectively. There's a lot of material that has been sent over to you. Some of them you may have opened, some of them not. Make sure that you have it somehow with you so you can browse through on the plane, okay? And then also, as Akil Bhai mentioned, pray on the plane, which is important for all of us, okay? And inshallah, we have the right frame of mind going forward. So inshallah, there will be a time that you will be in Istanbul or wherever you are stopping and looking forward to going into Medina. So I want you to think through a little bit, as Sheikh Jafar mentioned, that what type of personality are we going to visit in Medina, right? That's very important. So I won't go into much detail, but there are a number of, spiritual aspects to arriving in Medina. We will be, visiting the Prophet, the 5 Masumins, etc., right? The Prophet has a very high status over all of us, okay? When we say salam to the Prophet, of course, he is alive, listening to our salam and inshallah responding as well with all of his mercifulness, as we all know. Okay, so you can read through this. I will pass through some of this quickly. The Prophet has been sent to us as a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's Surah Al-Anbiya. And also, we can ask forgiveness of our sins to Allah through the Prophet. And the last important ayat here for reference, okay, is important. It is Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, because when you go to Medina, right, in Makkah, you will see big boards that asking, for hajats or asking for forgiveness through the dead people is bid'at and it's not allowed. But this is the main reason we want you to refer to this ayat if you have any doubts about what the Shia madhab or faith recommends. Okay, we can ask through our Aimma, as we all do, the Dua Tawassul, etc., but it's a reference in the Quran referring to why we can ask through the prophets. Okay, of course we're asking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but through the wasila of our Aimma. So can we have a loud salawat, please? Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. So let's fast forward. So let's say you have now physically arrived in Medina at the airport there. So what are the formalities? It's very important that, of course, you have your passport ready. And with the passport, either there'll be a draft, okay, for ground transportation attached to the passport. This is what the Saudi government requires, okay. Or if the voucher is not attached to it, you will be given on the plane or just before you arrive in Medina, okay, by Inayat if you're traveling with this group. It's paid for. Okay, so that saves our step there. So the voucher is already paid for. We don't have to. Last year when we arrived in Medina, we had to have our meningitis card ready. Sometimes they do check, sometimes they don't. The idea is you have your passport and meningitis card ready, okay? Now, it's very important that before you exit the final door, somebody will ask for your passport, just give it to him. This is a different type of travel where you have to give up your passport at the Medina airport. You don't come out with your passport all the way to the hotel. Is that clear? That applies to all of us, okay, in terms of everybody traveling. And then, inshallah, you'll find the passport will come back to you, but you have to give up your passport. If you come out with your passport, something is wrong, okay? And then, inshallah, there will be, United agents there. There'll be workers who will be helping us to load the luggage to the bus. Make sure your luggage is up or it has been handed to the volunteers, and then you can sit on the bus, okay? All right, so then inshallah, if everything goes well, we will arrive at our hotel in Medina. The name of the hotel is Golden Mubarak Hotel. Now, alhamdulillah, this year most of the Hujjaj, at least 50 to 60, traveling on Turkish Airlines from Toronto group, and also joined by the US group, around maybe another 40 or 50, will be all on the same Turkish flight landing into Medina. So what that means is we have around 100 to 120 Hujjaj arriving at the hotel at the same time. So you can imagine the chaos at the hotel, right, at the lobby. So there'll be lots of luggages. Everybody will be looking for their rooms. So the rooms' names will be posted on the wall. So take your time, take it easy. Okay, you'll find your room number, who are your roommates, and then slowly people will be going to their rooms. They'll be taking their luggages with them in the room. So depending on the logistics on the ground, they may ask you go and have something to eat. There is on floor 8 we have two big rooms, one for men, one for the ladies. Go rest a little bit until the rush goes much less down in the lobby, and then you can wheel your luggages to your rooms. Okay, just take it easy, be patient, etc. Okay. Because the groups will be arriving at the same time. Okay, some of the volunteers will arrive during the evening on that day, and some on the following day. Okay, what we recommend is when you arrive first in Medina, if it's your first time, take it easy, go and rest, take shower. Okay, and anybody who's already done Umrah can proceed to the Haram because they know the rituals which we go through when we enter the Haram for the first time. This is the Prophet's Haram I'm talking about. And those who would like some guidance can remain behind until the volunteers will announce that all the first timers, we are now ready to go, meet us in the lobby at this point in time, and then we will take you to the Haram. Because when you go to the Haram for the first time, we do have rituals. We do recite Izne Dukhul, permission to enter. We can show you a couple of sports, etc. So be patient, and then inshallah we can go together. Okay, that makes sense so far, so good. But of course, people who have been there can also take some of the first timers with them, and then inshallah we will roll that way. Okay. Okay, so it's important when you visit the Haram. Okay, what do we need to do? Okay, it's very important that you be in the state of wudu. Do your wudu from the hotel, so you don't have to waste time going for wudu area outside the Haram. Okay, make sure you carry a water bottle. Make sure you don't forget your shoe bag, as I mentioned it before. Okay, we talked about the cameras. Okay, take your dua books or musalla and the tablet. Recite Izne Dukhul. Now, ladies have different timings to go near the Zari of the Prophet. So the volunteers will announce the time. They will take you with them accordingly. Okay, and again, I think that's important for you to arrive early. Otherwise, you won't get the spot. Especially for the ladies, the area is a little bit smaller than the men. Otherwise, you'll recite outside in the Sahan. That's pretty hot during the Zohr Asr time, okay? Okay, inside the Haram, right, there are different pillars which we will take you, inshallah, okay? And we will recite the ziyarats of the Prophet, Bibi Fatima, the ziyarat of the Baqi. So there will be a lot of guidance provided to you. We'll be there in Medina for around 5 to 6 days. So we will take time to make sure you are well taken care of, inshallah, okay? Important thing is for you to browse through the tablet or through your dua books. There's a lot of history in the Prophet's mosque. The area of the mosque, the pillars, right? The house of Bibi Fatima alayhi salam. So if you take and do some pre-reading. If you have not been to Medina, it will be helpful to you, although we will be also organizing walking ziyarat around the haram and inside the haram, okay, as long as it's all possible, okay? Okay, so how does a typical day in Medina look like? Okay, some people ask, like, how will I pass my time? I'm not working, I'm not to my, I have my spouse or friend or brother or sister, but my family is back home. Okay, so generally we wake up early for namaz shab or salatul layl, okay, and then we proceed to the haram. We do the salatul layl, we recite, fajr namaz, we recite the ziyarat of the Prophet depending on the time, and the ziyarat of Bibi Fatima. And then we proceed to the Baqi, okay, where we recite the Prophet's, the ziyarat of the Aimma there, okay. And again, normally we do go in a group and we do arrange the tours of the Baqi so we can show you the graves of the Aimma and also other family members who are buried there, okay, the Prophet's family, etc. Yes. Baqi is only for the men, correct, okay? Unfortunately, they do not allow ladies to go to the Baqi area. They have also stopped going there for them to go on the ramp, so they really have to just recite the ziyarat of the Baqi from far. But they will be organizing the trips to the Baqi where they can go in groups, and then they can recite the ziyarat as well, okay? As Akil mentioned, it's highly recommended for you to recite all the namaz in the haram. The sawab is multiplied, okay? You are, as Sheikh Jafar said, 4 of our imams are buried in Baqi. And then when you add the Prophet and Bibi Fatima, we have 6 out of 14 Masumins right in that vicinity. So we have to feel the energy. We are in a very powerful place, and that's where we need to be really cognizant of the fact of where we are. And inshallah, we can pray that our hajjats are all accepted, okay? Now, as far as lectures are concerned, there are 2 lectures. I would say one is the afternoon lecture, where we cover again the Hajj Masails. And then in the evening, again, we do a lecture / majlis, right, where we, of course, cover some material and also the majalis, and we cover hopefully we can remember the aimas of the Baqi and Bifad and the Prophet during our majalis time, etc. And then we have the dinner, and after lecture in the afternoon we have the lunch. Okay, so that's generally the day in Medina. Okay. Okay, so this is Janatul Baqi. This is the closest you can get in terms of the picture of the visual. The 4 imams and the grave of Bibi Fatima. There is Bibi Fatima Asad, Imam Ali's mother, okay? As Sheikh Jafar said, we exactly don't know where Bibi Fatima Zahra is buried. Either she's in Baqi or near the Prophet's grave, okay? All right, so when we go to Baqi, it's very important for us to know the rules, okay? When you enter Baqi, there'll be a lot of rush. So you have to just be with a smaller group. It may be 5 people, 3 people, 10 people. Try to be as close as possible, but because of the rush, you may even separate, okay? You may be able to just hang behind a group that's reciting ziyarat. You can do so, you can wait there, or you can do the tour, come out, and then recite the ziyarat peacefully from outside, okay? The important point here is that there will be guards who are guarding the area of the Baqi from our brothers, and they may say, don't recite the ziyarat here. Our recommendation is just listen to them, walk away. There's no point in arguing with them. We are not here to have a debate. Okay, we just want to make sure that we go do the salams at the Baqi peacefully, come out peacefully, do the ziyarat, because quality is important than just trying to getting pushed and then doing your ziyarat from that area. So it's important that we do respect the laws which they have set themselves in terms of logistics, etc. And we don't want to get into any arguments with them. Okay, is that clear? Everybody knows what I'm talking about here? Okay, thank you, okay? We talked about the ladies. Okay, Medina outside that you were able to see in the visual presentation that we would do different ziyarat from around Medina. So we will normally start our ziyarat trip, which will be organized by groups. It may be 1 or 2 days for the Canadian group, 1 day for the US, and then 1 day for the UK group, or we will mix them up. But inshallah, we will have 1 day which will be taken for outside Ziyarat, and we'll go by bus. And normally we would visit Uhud, the plains of Uhud. You saw that in the visual presentation. We go to Masjid al-Quba, Masjid al-Qiblatain. Whatever is remaining of the Sabah Masjid, we try to make a round there, and inshallah we would have Akil and Sheikh Abbas Jafar who would be doing the commentary on the bus and outside the bus as well, which you also saw on the visual presentation. So this is the important logistics for outside Ziyarat, and it's important that we all are aware of them so we don't delay the groups when we are getting there. So number one, be ready at the time announced. We normally say that you have to be ready by 8 o'clock a.m. That means you have been for Fajr namaz, you have come back, you have had your breakfast, you have gone to the washroom, and then you have done your wudu, you have your water bottle, and you are down in the lobby by 8 o'clock. Remember, it's very hot in Medina these days. So if we leave at 10 a.m., when we reach Uhud, it's going to be very hot. And some groups have already gone, so there will be a lot of rush. So normally the organizers do take all these logistic considerations into consideration, then set the time for the departure. So it's normally 8 o'clock, okay? And then once we arrive there, try to stay within the group because there are so many groups, there are so many people. So we don't want anybody to get lost, okay? And yes, there will be areas where you will see some things are being sold. Please don't wander away shopping because what happens then, the whole group is waiting for you. We have 40 people on the bus, we are missing 2 because they are shopping. But that's not fair for the remaining 40 people on the bus, okay? There will be enough time and given to you for your shopping, etc. Okay, make sense? Can we have a loud salawat, please? All right, let's talk about departure for Makkah, right? As Akil mentioned, we'll do the ghusl and wear the ihram in the hotel, right? But then we will go to the miqat, which will be Masjid al-Shajara, okay? And we will proceed from there. The logistics here are that we will announce the time where we need your suitcases down, the day before we depart for Makkah, right? So we'll say we need your suitcases packed by 12 a.m. or 6 a.m., right? So we need your suitcases on time in the lobby. The suitcases will go in a lorry. You also saw that in the visual presentation. So the suitcases will go ahead. They may leave around 10 a.m. We will leave around 4 p.m. from the hotel, go to Masjid al-Shajara, pray Maghrib, and then leave from Masjid al-Shajara in Maghrib time. So we will need your suitcases packed ahead of time. We will announce the time once we are in Medina before departure. Make sense? So that means you have done your packing, you have done your shopping, anything that's going in the suitcase, okay? And Inayat tells me there's only 1 suitcase allowed per person on the lorry, so there's weight restrictions there. And that's just a joke, isn't it? Okay, all right. Inshallah, if we can, the spiritual aspects here is if you can read the talbiyah, the long talbiyah, and the meaning of it before getting on the bus, it would be nice, but we will remind you of that in Medina, okay? Okay, so once we arrive in Masjid al-Shajara, again, this is a huge mosque, and everybody will be in white. Men will be wearing the ihram, which are white. Ladies also generally wear white clothes. All the groups are there, so we have to divide the whole 220 or whoever is traveling that day into different smaller groups. So we will have a group of 15, 20 people to men, and similarly there will be 1 or 2 groups in the ladies. Make sure you stick with that group because everybody is wearing white. Everybody will go into the masjid. They'll settle themselves in a different spot in the masjid, right? We will do namaz al-Maghrib and Isha there. We do namaz for the wearing of tawaf, etc. If we need to do the niyat, come out in the group, and then the groups will proceed to the bus. So with 220 people, we may have 5 buses. You need to know which bus you are in, okay? Otherwise, logistically, if somebody is lost, then that bus cannot move because the passports which you have given up are with the driver. So we have to make sure that the people in this bus are the same as the passports which the driver has on that bus. Okay, with me? Logistically, it's very important for you to come back to that bus and inshallah we can all proceed to Makkah. So far so good? Okay? All right. Okay, arrival in Makkah. So did you remember the picture of Golden Mubarak Hotel, right? This is the picture of Ajwad Hotel. So if you can see, even the picture, it's a skinny hotel. So the hotel in Makkah is quite small, and you probably saw in the visual there was a lobby in Makkah. It was very small. Now remember, same 220 people, same 200 and maybe 440 luggage pieces. If you take 220 times 2. So imagine the chaos in Makkah when we arrive. Okay, so again, be patient. That's what we are asking for. Everything will work out. It's just a matter of time. Okay, we only have 2 elevators in Makkah. We have, I think, 6 in Medina. So you can imagine it's 1/3. Yeah. Okay. So once we arrive in Makkah, so we normally leave Masjid al-Shajar around Maghrib time. Just after that, as Akil mentioned, it depends how the traffic is, the checkpoints we go through. We may arrive at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., etc. Ideally, we arrive, we quickly refresh, and if you can perform your Umrah before Fajr time, it's ideal. But if you arrive around 5 a.m. and it's already Fajr time, it's not worthwhile to go because the crowd is all in the Haram. All the local people who are already there, or the Hujjaj who are already there, they'll be going for Fajr Salat. Then we may say we're going to hold off you in the hotel, rest until the Fajr crowd comes out of the Haram, then we can go and do our Umrah. It all depends on the situation when we arrive, okay? And then for the first timers, we will divide the group into smaller groups. So we may have one experienced person with 10 Hujjaj, and they will be going to the Haram, and this leader will guide them through the Umrah in terms of where is Hajar Aswad, this other rounds. Then he will decide, okay, whether we will meet either before going for Sa'i or we will meet after doing the Sa'i. So this leader will guide the group of 10 people, okay? And inshallah, every year it works out. We just divide the whole big group of 220 into smaller groups to make it all easier for you, okay? All right, okay, so what do we do in Makkah? So we may have another 4 or 5 days in Makkah. Okay, once you finish your Umrah and you're out of the state of Ihram. So again, you have another 4 or 5 days. So again, we recommend we pray all our namaz in the Haram. Okay, the namaz is full. Okay, now if you want to get a good spot in the Haram, you have to go 1 to 1.5 hours early. You cannot leave the hotel when you hear the azan. You may have to pray on the street, okay? So make sure that you leave enough time. Again, you're going to take your shoe bag with you because the shoes will come with you inside the Haram near where you will be praying, okay? Remember the rules about praying behind the Sunni Imam, as Akil mentioned. Now, it's also highly recommended to recite Surah Baqarah, Dua Kumail, Dua Mujir, right? So because you're going early, 1 hour early or half an hour early or 45 minutes early, this is the time you can do all the sunnah ta'qibat which would inshallah benefit all of us, okay? All right. Then in Makkah, we will also arrange a walking ziyarat. So we walk from the hotel, okay, around the Haram, and then we go to Jannatul Mu'alla where we do the ziyarat of Bibi Khadija and other, Aimas who are buried there, okay? So this is a walking ziyarat, and that's why it's important for all of us to walk as much as possible. And also we will announce if we hear there is a rooftop lecture on the 3rd floor by another scholar. It may be Sheikh Osama, it may be another scholar from different groups there. Then it's up to you whether if you can accommodate listening to that lecture in your schedule, okay? So we will announce normally the lectures as soon as we hear from the other groups. In terms of lectures, it's similar. We do have 2 lectures in the group. We have one at the Zohar time and then one in the evening time for this group, okay? And then this is the packing list for the main Hajj, which we start, as Akil mentioned. So this is a list of items which you have it in your email. So this is something we just wanted to make sure that you are aware of it. Sleeping bags is one thing I would like to talk about. Sleeping bag is important, okay? Sometimes people think, oh, we will share. But if you are in a different group, even within men, we'll divide sometimes in smaller groups or the buses. It's important for you to have your own bag so you don't have to look for somebody else. Okay, sleeping bags are available there. Here it's easier if you can get it from Canadian Tire or Walmart or other place. It's around $19-20. It's important for you to have a bag because in Muzdalifah, as Akil mentioned, It's pure ground. There's nothing there, right? No tents, no carpets, nothing. So it's important for you to have a sleeping bag. Sometimes, depending on what time we arrive in Muzdalifah, we may get a good spot where there's no stones underneath, or sometimes we get a bad spot. So if you have a sleeping bag, it's handy and it's a little bit more comfortable, okay? And then you can read the rest, inshallah, on yourself, okay? Arafat, all these points have been mentioned. This is just a quick summary. The only important thing is tents are always a challenge for us. Space is always limited, and that's why we want you to make sure that we minimize the space you have to share and be organized inside the tent as well, okay? There are ample washrooms now compared to previous years, but still the lineup is pretty long, okay? Especially just before Salat time. So you have to allow time to go to the washroom. That means you can just not go to the washroom when you have to go. You have to plan ahead, go 15-20 minutes ahead of time. So you are in the line, and then it comes to you. I've heard, just to make you laugh, but people are willing to pay if you want to move the spot from 10th to 1st, $100 US. Okay. All right. And last point, again, third time we are mentioning this, it's important that the wajib part in Arafat is from Zohar to almost Maghrib time, right? It's important for you to rest once we arrive, and so that has been covered, okay? Muzdalifah, so this is a picture, you are seeing this now for the third time. There's nothing there, right? So that's why it's important for you to be fully aware of it, okay? Generally, there is no food available in Muzdalifah. At the most, you saw probably in the visual, there was a young boy who was selling some tea and cookies. That's the only thing you will get. But you'll be fed in Arafat. We normally give you snacks. You'll be full. In Muzdalifah, once you arrive, you are really not that hungry. If you are a tea person, you can definitely buy tea there. And then next day, inshallah, we start going towards Mina, okay? The spiritual aspects you can read. There's lots of messages while you are in Muzdalifah as far as Imam Zainul Abidin is concerned, etc. Yeah? Yes?
Do we get snacks from here?
Okay, we'll come back. I will come to that. The question was, do we pack snacks from here? Okay, so the idea is you can take some snacks from here. Some of them, if you want, you can buy in Makkah before we go for the Arafat trip. Okay, granola bars, those kind of snacks are really handy. They give you quick energy, but they are not, they are healthy. Let's put it that way. Okay. All right. Okay. So Mina, right? Mina, as you saw again from the visual, is an enormous white city. Again, we try to be in the groups because you can easily get lost. We have normally follow our flag. We have changed the flag from the Canadian flag to a Hajj assistance flag, but you will see that. And again, when we are walking towards Jamarat, as Akil mentioned, we have to hit the Jamarat or the Shaitan from the lower level. It's very, very important for you to be with the group because we do have left and right turns, which you need to be careful, make sure you don't get lost. Okay, but inshallah, we'll all go as a group. Now, two important points. Number one, the walk to Jamarat is very long, and I'll show you a slide on that. And also remember this, before you leave the tent in Mina, you should go to the washroom because washroom facilities on the way are first very limited and not very hygienic. Two is you have to have water bottle and a spray bottle because very hot. By just spraying yourself, you get energy. So those three things you have to remember, okay? All right, okay, so I asked Raisa to do a map so you can see we are in Masjidul Haram, right, in Makkah, and then we will go to Arafat, and then we'll come to Muzdalifah, and then to Mina. So just picture this for a moment. Are you with me? Akil, can you see that? Okay. All right, so we are in Makkah, okay. So the first part is we will take a bus ride all the way to Arafat. This will happen at night mostly, and depending on how quickly the bus come and how many buses we have, we start transporting the group between 12 and midnight until like Fajr time, depending on how many buses we get and how many people we can fit in the buses, etc. Okay, so that ride is the bus.
How far the distance?
20 kilometers approximately. Okay. All right. Then from Arafat, right? Arafat, the wukuf, as we mentioned, from Zohar to almost Maghrib time. So then we will go by bus from Arafat to Muzdalifah. All of us will go in the bus. We just have to wait for our turns because those are government buses running in the circle there. Okay? So far so good? Yeah. So now all of us are in Muzdalifah, both men and women, right? Inshallah. Okay. Then normally, and this is what we did last year. Okay. So the ladies walk from Muzdalifah to Mina. The time they walk, it depends on the logistics and the organizers at that point in time. So last year they walked a little bit early at night before Fajr time because they are allowed to go to Mina before sunrise. So far so good, but this is a walk. It's not a bus. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay? And for all the able-bodied men, same logistics, but they will go into Mina at the sunrise. But they'll be taken in a group close to the tents in Mina or the border of Mina, and then they'll be guided appropriately when to walk into Mina. So far so good, but that is a walk. The only exception we make are for disabled people who cannot walk. But that means that we're going to stay in Muzdalifah the whole night. In the morning, maybe around 8 a.m., 9 a.m., when we get the government buses, then we take the bus to Mina. Okay? So ideally, if you can walk that part, it's best because you can get your wajibat done much faster. Okay? Now we are in Mina, right? Then our tents in Mina are close to the border of Muzdalifah. So Mina is a big area. Our tents are very close to Muzdalifah border. That means we have to walk a long way to Jamarat. Jamarat is where we hit the shaitan, the rummy. So one way is approximately 1.5 hours. Approximately. If you walk very fast, Inayat can do it in 45 minutes to an hour. An average person, let's be honest, we don't want to set expectations. It's around 1.5 hours one way. Okay, so when you go, you hit the Jamarat, then you come back to the tent. So there's another 1.5. So to go to Jamarat is a 3-hour process, 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how fast the crowd goes, etc. What's the rush, right? So we have to be able to walk that. The first question we get is, can I get a taxi? You cannot get a taxi. Can I get a wheelchair? You cannot get a wheelchair. So if you are really, really, very tired, and we'll decide this with the doctor's help, etc., then we may have to do niyabat. Generally, we encourage each and every one to do their own wajibats. Okay? So this is important for all of us to know. The distance of walking, which we normally do. Okay?
This one is done
Yeah, so this one we do it together. So this way the whole group. Now, the first day, because the ladies have gone into Mina before sunrise, they are allowed to do that. The organizers will take them to do the Jamarat at night because it's very quiet. You can walk faster because there's less crowd. When you come to the Jamarat, you can do the Rami. It's very quiet, so it's easy and safer. So the ladies, the first day, they will do it themselves. The men will do it separately in different groups. Okay? So everybody is clear on the walk? Okay. And we'll
kilometers is it from Muzdalifah to Mina and from Mina to... No, because you mentioned...
Yes. So I deliberately didn't put because I was not sure exactly in terms of... But around 4 to 6, I would say, okay?
from Muzdalifah to Mina about
4 to 6 kilometers. But depending on the crowd, इसलिए हम थोड़ा आस्ते चलेंगे or maybe or something like that. Okay, take it. All right. Now, it's important for men. Akil said, inshallah, the group encourages that the men do their own qurbani. So once they have done the Jamarat, they have to walk to the slaughterhouse, which is another half an hour from our tents, I think, approximately, right? So men have to walk a little bit even more than the ladies. Okay. All right. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that all of you have a snapshot of the amount of walk. Okay. So when you come back, it's total 6 hours. Now, once we have done the wukuf in Mina, okay, we're gonna be in Makkah. This is the last part. Okay. Once we are in Makkah, we still have to go one more time back into Mina to do the Jamarat, the last time, the last day. Okay. So we walk from our hotel to Mina, okay, in the morning. So that's one way. It's around another hour to 1.5 hours. And then once you are in Mina, you have done your Jamarat, we wait until Zohar time, then we can come back to our hotel. But that's also done by walk. There's no buses. If you wait for the bus, you will come at night. By doing this walk, you will be in the hotel after Zohar plus another hour, let's say. So by 2:30, right, you are done your Hajj. That's the last part. The important part here, and we'll go through all the discussion and the logistics and the technical and the physical aspects later while we are there. All I'm trying to show you here is the amount of walk we do during Hajj time, especially during the 3 days. And that's why even Sheikh Jafar said that start walking. If you're not walking, you have to walk. Even if you're not going to do this walk, but remember, tawaf itself is also lots of walk. Sa'i, Akil Bhai mentioned, 3.5 kilometers, right? We have to do Sa'i at least twice in this trip, right? For Umrah and for Hajj, tawaf, once you finish, right? So, tawaf unisa. Tawaf unisa, there is no Sa'i, just the Hajj part. Okay? So far, so good? Yes?
Can you walk the whole thing if you want it?
Yes, you can do so, and we have people who did this last 2 years, okay? So if you are able, people follow the sunnah of the Prophet, that the Prophet walked from Makkah all the way to Arafat. And so we have a few, 3 to 5, maybe 6 people, depending on who is interested. If we have a good leader who is willing to take them, then yes, they can do those, okay? All right, I'm cognizant of Salat time, so I'll be very quick. Okay, so this is again very important. This is setting expectations. So this is how the comfort level is. You are most comfortable in your own home, in your own room, etc., correct? And then we go to Medina, still good. We go to Makkah, as I mentioned, the space shrinks quite a bit, okay? The room size also shrinks. Sometimes we put suitcases outside in the hallway in Makkah because it's too big and the rooms are too small. Then we go to Arafat. We do have a tent on our head. We have a carpet, at the bottom. In Muzdalifah, there is no tent, there is no carpet. Completely on the ground, as if you are 6 feet down. Honestly, that's how it is more or less, without the cover, right? And then we go back to Mina, so we have tents. Inshallah, hopefully the AC is working, okay? So it's getting better. We go to Makkah, and you will feel Makkah is so good because you're back in your own bed or on your own mattress, and it feels really good, believe me, okay? And then you are home. But Allah says as your comfort level goes down, His blessings keep going up. That's what Allah takes you through that route, okay? All right, okay, very quickly, these are tips you can read. We have to drink lots of liquid all the time. You cannot stop drinking because you don't want to go to the washroom. Doesn't work, okay? Always go to the washroom when the bus stops, not when the bus starts. Because you're going to delay the group another half an hour, okay? 5 hours of sleep is very important, okay? Remember, you have to logistically work your body. So if you sleep at 10:30, 11 p.m., then you can wake up for Salatul Layl. Otherwise, you sleep at 1 or 2, then it will be difficult, okay? So arrange your timings accordingly. Okay, that's right. Okay, let's see. Do your to-do list. So complete your will. So we have sent you the link of Maulana Rizwi's seminar and the word copy of the will, so it makes your life easy. Okay, pay your khums, as Akil Bhai mentioned as well. Okay, so this is the area where we need your help. Allah loves the one who helps another Haji. Remember, you are not in it for yourself, you are in it for the rest, okay? Allah loves the one who shares. Space is number one. Remember, we have paid for everybody, but every time we arrive in Mina, there's one part of the tent that's taken by another group. You can sit and argue with the organizers. You just have to make do what you are given. Okay? All right. Allah loves the one who sacrifices his or own comfort for others. Okay? Always keep your cool. Delays will happen, but Shaitan is looking to break your perfect record. Okay? Always go out of your hotel with your partners. This is for safety. It's important if 2 people go. Sometimes you go alone. Yes, you may be okay, but something happens, then it's very hard for the organizers to find you, especially if you're not wearing the ID badge, okay? But we'll keep it fast. Take enough rest. Remember, quality is important than quantity. You may hear your friend spend the whole night in haram, but that doesn't mean you also do the same, okay? You may have a different, requirements from your own self, for medical reasons, etc. You may not be able to do that, but remember, quality is important than quantity. We talked about drinking lots of water. It's important for you to wash your hands before going for lunch or dinner, because even on the carpet in Medina or even the tiles or marble in Makkah, there is dust. They do an excellent job of cleaning those spaces, but still, they may have cleaned, but people are walking over there, right? So it's important for you to wash your hands. Okay. Practice walking, we talked about it. Prepare yourself spiritually. Okay, in order for you to be a new person when you come, you have to understand, as Sheikh Jafar said, there are reasons behind our rituals. So if you take time to read and listen, inshallah, that can be a catalyst for change. Okay, so do not worry. I know a lot of people are worried, especially if it's your first time going for Umrah or for Hajj. Okay, don't worry. We are all here to help each other, okay? We will drink what Inayat and Shakil and Mustafa drink and eat, so don't worry. We'll have enough food. You do your part, honestly. We will do our part and Allah will do His part. Inshallah, every time it all works out, okay? Inshallah, we are all here with each other and we'll help each other, okay? What happens if you get sick? So we do have doctors in the group. We do have common medicine. You have to carry your prescription medicine, okay? And there are reasonably good hospitals in Makkah and Medina. What happens if you die? Or I die? Or somebody dies, okay? It's one of the best places to die. Sheikh Jafar just said the best time to die